Hey guys, Riley here from McNaught Buick GMC in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and today I'm excited to introduce to you the all-new 2021 GMC Yukon XL Denali. Now this is a very exciting SUV for a couple of reasons. First being that it's a Yukon XL, which is the absolute biggest SUV in the GMC lineup. You've got a slightly longer wheelbase and some additional cargo volume over the standard Yukon, which is what makes this one unique. And the other reason being is that it is a Denali Ultimate Edition, which has all of the latest and greatest technology, comfort and convenience amenities, and the most premium quality materials on both the inside and the exterior. So without further ado, we're going to do a detailed exterior walk around. We're going to talk about the engine, talk about the powertrain, and then of course I'm going to hop on inside and show you every single feature that this fully loaded 2021 Yukon has to offer. Now starting off on the front end here, let's talk about this bold exterior grille. Now the Denali trim has this nice honeycomb style front chrome grille. This is really big, really bold and aggressive. We like the look of the chrome on the front. It's really luxurious. And what's interesting here about these headlights is that they're now full LED headlights. You've got the 3 LED crystals as well as your C-shaped LED daytime running lights. Now if we head down a little bit lower, you will find your LED fog lamps, and you've got this nice kind of brushed aluminum chrome panel that kind of surrounds the front fog lamps, of course giving it a little bit more of that bold kind of characteristic on the front. On the front end here, you will find your parking sensors, which are integrated into the front bumper itself. There's a total of 4 sensors on the front. And last but not least, if you look carefully just underneath the M, you will find the forward-facing camera, which is part of the HD surround vision camera system. Now, of course, I'm going to show you what that's all about when we hop on the inside. Now, in case you're wondering what's under the hood, the 2021 Yukon Denali comes standard with the 6.2-liter V8 engine. Now, that's pushing out 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. And that's going to be matched up with a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now there's also an available 3-liter Duramax diesel engine in case you're looking for that option. But regardless of which one you choose, you will find that 10-speed automatic transmission, which is giving you excellent fuel economy. Now a couple cool things about this new Yukon is it does come with the AutoTrack 2-speed transfer case, so you're able to seamlessly switch between 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, and auto while you're on the road. This one is actually equipped with the adaptive air ride suspension, which is actually going to allow you to increase and decrease the height of the vehicle by up to 2 inches. More on that once we go inside, of course. Now starting over here on the side of the vehicle with the mirror caps themselves, you'll find the exterior turn signal indicators. Then as we take a look at the mirror itself, you will find your side blind zone LED indicator on there, so that's going to let you know if somebody's in your blind spot. You've also got another camera on each mirror cap, which is for the HD surround vision camera system. And of course these mirrors are power folding and power adjustable. All of that is controlled from the driver's door panel. Now the door handles themselves do have the keyless entry system on all 4 doors, so as long as you've got the key in your pocket, you're able to lock and unlock the doors from the push of a button. Now this is especially convenient if you're loading up your kids in the back seat. You don't have to walk up to the front door to unlock it. You could simply hit it from the back door, and that's going to lock and unlock no problem whatsoever. Now over here you will find, as part of the Denali Ultimate package, you will find the power retractable side steps. So this is just one more amenity that's going to make it a lot easier getting in and out of the vehicle. Now of course with that air ride suspension, it's going to actually lower the ride height as you enter park, so that's going to also make it a lot more easier getting in and out of the SUV, and you've got those side assist steps just to help you out even further. Now the wheels themselves are 22-inch machined aluminum wheels. These come standard on the Denali. You've also got some gloss black wheel options which look phenomenal depending on the color of the car. But of course with the chrome window trim and the chrome roof rails, I think the machined aluminum wheels look excellent. Now on the back end of the redesigned Yukon Denali, really good job that General Motors did here. They cleaned up this rear end really nicely. You've got the quad exhaust tips here, which is excellent. You've actually got the cover, so your trailer hitch is going to be located just underneath this panel. You could remove that and install the hitch. Now the towing capacity is up to 8,400 pounds, which is really respectable for that, for a full-size SUV like this. So you shouldn't have any problems towing your trailer or your boat or whatnot. The C-shaped taillights are full LED. You've also got your reverse light above, and then your windshield, your rear windshield wiper is going to be tucked away just underneath the rear spoiler. So that's nice and hidden, but of course you've got that full wiper on the back to keep the rear window clean. In terms of tailgate, you've got a couple options here. You've got the hands-free liftgate option. If you want to walk up to the rear bumper and kick just underneath the bumper, it's going to actually activate the tailgate. Or you've got the buttons right here on the key fob itself. So taking a look at the new redesigned key, I really like this. It's a lot more slim, looks a lot more modern. You've got your lock and unlock, your remote start, as well as your full tailgate button, and also your tailgate window button. So let's just open up the window portion first. So you double tap that, you're gonna notice the window's gonna jump up just a bit. And then what you're able to do is open up this window. So if you got some groceries in your hand and you wanna drop them into the trunk, that's not gonna be a problem whatsoever. Keeps things nice and convenient. Now what I'm gonna do is close this window portion, and then we're gonna open up the actual tailgate itself. So remember, you got the buttons on the key, your hands-free option, and then of course you've got a button just underneath the handle here. And you push that, and the electronic power lift gate's gonna open up, no problem whatsoever, nice and easily. So in terms of trunk volume, you've got plenty of storage space in the Yukon XL especially. So right now I've got all 3 rows lifted fully up, so you've still got plenty of storage space back here. You could stack up a couple suitcases, some golf clubs, whatever you need. Now there's also these aluminum sill plates here on the back end. You've got some additional storage space underneath this panel, so you could hide some items back here if you need to. There's actually a full outlet in the back if you want to plug in, I don't know, a TV, or let's say you got a portable grill or something that needs to be plugged in. That's no problem. And then the cool thing about the Yukon is the actual buttons on the back to adjust the seats. So over here you've got the 3rd row seats, and then over here you'll find the 2nd row seats. So if I push both of these buttons down, your third row seats are actually going to collapse nice and flat, and that's a 60-40 split. So you could adjust one or the other depending on how much storage space you actually need. And then what's cool is that the 2nd row seats will actually collapse as well. So if I hit those 2 buttons, you're going to notice both those seats are also going to fold down nice and flat. And take a look at this. I don't think there's any other SUV on the market with this much storage space in the back. This is actually incredible. So plenty of storage options back here. The 3rd row seats will actually come right back up. Those are power adjustable, so those will come right back up at you when you push the button. And then the 2nd row seats themselves, you're gonna have to lift those ones up manually. Those are only automatic down, but they won't come back up. So now we're gonna take one more brief walk along the exterior. Once again, the 6.2 liter V8 recommends premium. You could run regular fuel. 10-speed automatic transmission, as I mentioned before. And overall, just a really beautiful SUV here. You've got plenty of space on the exterior, really bold and luxurious presence when you're driving along the road. All right, so now it's time to take a look at the back seat of the Yukon XL Denali. Now I gotta say, the back seat is arguably one of the most exciting places to be in this SUV for a couple of reasons. Now I'm gonna start off first here with the materials on the inside. You've got this gorgeous jet black leather with the offset French stitching, and you've got the open pore black wood grain trim, which is just extremely luxurious, easy to clean. Just wipe it with a cloth, and you don't have to do anything else to that wood. It's gonna keep its natural tone and color over years to come. Now you've also got the Bose premium audio system. This is a 14 speaker sound system. Great sound quality, powerful sound quality throughout the entire interior. No matter if you're in the front or the rear, you've got great sound quality there. And the unique thing about this particular build is that we do have the 2nd row bench seating. So you could seat up to 8 passengers in this particular Yukon. You've got the 3 passengers in the 2nd row, 3 passengers in the 3rd row, and then of course 2 more people in the front. So lots of space here for the whole family. Couple options that you'll find on the second row seating is the slide function. So if you pull this handle up, you're able to slide the second row seat forward and backward, and that's going to optimize the legroom for whoever's in the second row or whoever's in the back row. And then next off, you will find your tilt lever right here. So that's going to drop the seats down just like I showed you from the trunk earlier. And then you've got one more handle here. If you give this handle a little pull, this little pull tab, it's going to lift up the seats and have them flush just up against the front driver and passenger seating, giving you a lot more space on the floor here, or of course easy access to get into that third row for those third row passengers. Now what I'm going to do now is hop on inside the second row seat, and I'm going to show you these incredible 12.6 inch LCD displays that you get. So you're going to have the rear media entertainment package on the Denali Ultimate, and that's going to give you these two screens here, which actually operate independently from each other. So you've got your own HDMI hookup on each screen. You could plug in a USB thumb drive. You could even stream video from your phone to this device. So if you've got Netflix on your phone, YouTube, and you want to stream it, simply connect to the vehicle's Wi-Fi, and you're able to do that with any smartphone as well. Now, one of the cool features, and this is why I say the back seat is arguably one of the most exciting places to be, is because you've actually got full access to your navigation from the rear passenger seat. Now, the cool thing about this is if you enter in an address, and I'm just going to type in McNaught Buick GMC real quick, you're actually able to send a location on your navigation up front to the driver's seat. So right now, because I don't have the navigation open, it wasn't letting me put the request in. But if the driver has a navigation on the front screen, you're actually able to send a location request to the driver, and then basically your driver can chauffeur you around while you're sitting in the back. So that's pretty interesting. Really cool and unique feature about this Yukon. Now, last but not least, if we take a look at the center console, you've got your climate controls as well as your heated outbound seats. And then you will find a pair of HDMI ports and USB-C ports, as well as a full household outlet. So if you need to plug in your PS4 or whatever it may be, that shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. Another thing I like about the Yukon is the full-size panoramic sunroof that lets in a lot of natural light, making the interior feel a lot more spacious. All right, now it's time to jump into the driver's seat on the 2021 Yukon XL Denali. Now, at first glance, like we've seen before, the same great materials that you'll find in the back are going to be located in the front. You've got the gorgeous jet black leather, offset stitching, open pore, black wood grain. And on the driver's door panel itself, you'll find all of your power adjustable mirror controls with the power folding function. And then over here, you will find your auto, one touch down and one touch up windows for the two fronts. And then your driver's memory seat settings with the exit position, so you could have the seat pull back when you turn off the vehicle and get out. Once again, 14 speaker Bose system is going to come equipped in the Denali Ultimate. And if we take a look over here at the driver's seat, you will find the Denali logo embossed into the leather itself. Now, these are perforated seats, which allow for the ventilated feature as well as the heated feature. And overall, you will find your fully power adjustable controls with your lumbar support just along to the side here. These are really comfortable seats in the two fronts, as well as the back seats are quite comfortable as well. Now, the steering wheel itself is leather wrapped, and you will find your power adjustable steering wheel controls over here just along the side. And then over here, you will find a panel containing a whole bunch of different buttons, which I'm going to explain real quick here. They're quite simple, actually. So from left to right, you'll find your electronic parking brake. This is your lane departure warning and lane keep assist function, which you could turn on and off. Your parking sensors you could turn on and off. Your auto start stop function, which is going to turn off the vehicle at a red light. You could turn that on and off. And then that outlet that was in the back of the trunk and the back seat, you could enable that, turn it on and off. You've got your traction control, your hill descent assist, and then your heads-up display controls, which you could use to change the information, the brightness, and the height of the heads-up display. And as we head on down to the second row of buttons here, you will find your auto 4x4 controls. You've got your 4 high, 4 low, 2 high, and auto, as well as your traction select system, which as you rotate this dial, it's actually going to give you a couple different drive modes. You've got sport, off-road, and your tow haul mode. Last but not least, you will find your interior brightness switch as well as your headlight controls. And then over here to the right, you will find your trailer brake controller. So everything is nice and easily accessible for the driver, and it's not really visible for anybody else in the vehicle, so it keeps things nice and clean and tucked away off to the side. All your controls just within hand's reach. All right, so now I've gone ahead and jumped inside the cabin of the 2021 Yukon, and we're gonna take a look at all the latest and greatest technology and features that you'll find from the driver's seat. Starting over here with the leather wrapped steering wheel, really nice and solid steering wheel. You've got this aluminum trim piece that goes along the center portion, and there's lots of space to grab from, so I find that especially comforting on longer road trips where that driving fatigue kicks in. Sometimes you want to hold it from lower down or whatnot. You've got plenty of space here to hold on to the steering wheel. Now on the left hand side, you will find your cruise controls as well as your adaptive cruise control function. And then what you've also got here is your forward collision alert and your gap adjust for the adaptive cruise. So that's going to set the distance that the Yukon will follow the vehicle in front of you. Over here, just below that, you will find your heated steering wheel button with the LED indicator, just letting you know that that is turned on. You've got Denali right here in the center portion of the steering wheel, letting you know that you are a Denali owner. And then of course on the left-hand side here, you will find your hands-free calling buttons to make those phone calls or use Apple Carplay. You could adjust Siri, you could enable Siri with that button right there. And then finally, you'll find your 5-point command center with the scroll wheel. So what that's gonna do is actually control the information that's displayed on the digital gauge cluster. So everything from your fuel economy, your safety alerts, your vehicle incline, as well as your trip odometer, that's all gonna be fully configurable using the buttons right here on the steering wheel itself. Now heading on over on the right hand side here, the center console portion. Now this is the star of the show. This is the 10.2 inch LCD touch display. The GMC infotainment system, they totally outdid themselves with this generation of Yukon. This is perhaps the most responsive and intuitive infotainment system that we've ever seen in a vehicle. So I'm truly impressed with what General Motors has done here. In terms of audio, you'll find Sirius XM, AM, FM, and then of course your Bluetooth and USB audio. If we head on back home, you will find your phone connectivity. You could connect your phone through Bluetooth. All your contacts and recent calls are going to sync up no problem. And then heading on over to the navigation, just like I showed you in the back, this navigation system is really impressive. Look how responsive it is. You're even able to use two fingers to adjust the view and zoom in and out. So it's just really incredible how far technology's gone in these vehicles. It's actually just as responsive as the app on your smartphone. Wi-Fi hotspot uses OnStar 4G connectivity. That's a subscription-based service, which is going to use the antenna in the car to give you a better cell signal, of course. And then over here, you could set up user profiles, which is going to save your music and all your vehicle settings if you and your wife are sharing the vehicle. Within the settings themselves, I'm not going to get too detailed in here, but basically what you're able to do is set all your vehicle settings, such as your remote start if you want it to kick in the air conditioning when it starts up, or even your exterior lighting, how long you want the exterior lights to stay on when you leave the vehicle. So everything from comfort and convenience, your collision and safety options, everything is configurable through the settings app. It's quite easy to use if you spend a little time with it. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, that comes standard nowadays. That's good stuff. You've got the trailering app, which is actually really unique to GMC. You're able to set up a unique trailer profile, which is going to calibrate the powertrain. It's going to remember the trailer, and you can even hook up a trailer blind spot camera, which is going to give you a better point of view when you're pulling that trailer. And you've even got a checklist here, which I find really handy if it's your first time towing. You're able to visually see all the steps that are required to safely secure your trailer. Now jumping back home here, you will find additional apps that you could download. Just like you saw, you got Spotify here. You're able to download a whole bunch more. OnStar services, your rear media control panel is going to enable you to turn on and off both of the screens, one of the screens, whatever you want. And then of course you could change the input source and even change up the media that's playing on those rear screens. So everything's controllable here from the driver's seat. Now the climate controls are fully adjustable from the driver's seat. You've got the touch display app, or you've got the hard buttons down below if you prefer. The HD surround vision camera is absolutely incredible. I'm just gonna go over that real quick with you guys. So as you can see on the left-hand screen, you've got a full 360-degree bird's eye view. And then as we put the vehicle into drive, it's gonna activate that forward-facing camera with both the forward and rear trajectory lines. So that's gonna enable you to get a really good perspective when you're parking the vehicle. You're not gonna be running over any curbs in this particular vehicle just because of all the camera options that you've got here. So if I scroll through, we could flip from forward to back. You've got the top-down curb view, and then you've also got the side view, which is gonna, that's utilizing the cameras that are on the mirror caps themselves, giving you another perspective of your front wheels. That's especially handy if you're parallel parking, I find. Last but not least, we've got the hitch view camera, which is like a top-down bird's eye view. So when you're backing up to a trailer, that's gonna make things a lot easier. Now back to the home screen, you've got the My GMC app. You could download that on your iPhone or Android device. That's gonna allow you to remote start the vehicle from anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection. Sirius XM app, and of course, like I said before, you got Spotify installed on there, but I've seen a couple other good apps like the Weather Network, Pandora Radio. You've got a whole bunch more options on there as well. Now the precision shift selector has been moved. There's no more column shifter on the steering wheel. It's all digital buttons now. Quite simple to use. I find it frees up a lot more space. And of course, when you're going from drive to reverse and then back into park, there's an audible noise that's going to confirm that you are indeed engaged in park now. So you're not going to accidentally miss the button. You're going to get that little chime once you enter park. Now over here you'll find the start stop button. All your radio controls, your volume, your tune and tone is all going to be hard buttons, which is really nice. You know, people prefer that. Sometimes it's easier to use than you know, messing around with the touchscreen to engage with the volume and whatnot. Now just below the climate controls, you will find your 9-way heated and ventilated front seats. And then you've also got your button to access your rear climate controls, which you could turn on and off, and you could actually lock out the rear passengers from playing around with the climate controls. Now inside these two front storage compartments, you will find 2 cup holders, a pair of USB ports, and then a car charger. And then you've also got a nice wireless charging mat, which you could use your latest phone. That's gonna fit on here, no problem. All right, so in the armrest storage compartment, you've got plenty of space here. I just wanna point out how nice this is. You've got the leather with the French stitching. You've got this little panel here if you wanna put your phone flat. It's not gonna slide around, so definitely nice and convenient. Inside the armrest itself, you will find a USB-C port, a standard USB, and then your SD card. Also, if you're wondering what this box is, this actually contains the wireless headphones for the rear media system, so that's what that's in there for. Now heading on up towards the ceiling, this is probably one of my favorite features about this Yukon. So this is the rear camera mirror, and this gives you an edge-to-edge HD display of basically what's behind the vehicle. Now what's cool about this is if you don't want to use it, you could simply push the little tab downward, and now you've got the standard mirror, and then you pull it back, and of course you're back into the camera mode. Now you're actually able to adjust the brightness on here. You could even adjust the zoom, and then you could even adjust the angle of the camera itself. So basically giving you the optimal view when you're driving this large SUV. It's going to make it a lot easier to see out the back. And one last thing about this camera, it's actually got a washer fluid system. So if you use the rear windshield wiper with the washer fluid, it's going to clean the camera as well. Once again, always keeping that view unobstructed, even in the winter, even in the rain, no problem whatsoever. Now heading on up towards the ceiling, you've got a couple options here. Your Wi-Fi OnStar hotspot, you could turn that on and off. That's going to enable or disable the router. You've got your programmable garage door transmitter, your interior cabin lights, which you could configure to turn on and off whether or not you open the door. And then right in the middle here, you've got your power tailgate option, which you could set to max or 3/4 depending on the height of your garage if you don't want that opening up all the way. And then those third row seats, you're able to collapse and bring them back up using the buttons on the ceiling itself. So that's really nice and convenient. And last but not least, you will find your 3 sunroof controls here. You've got the sliding function, the sunshade, and then your tilt. So if I push the sunshade button here, That's going to retract the power retractable sunshade, giving you, once again, plenty of natural light in the cabin of the Yukon. Finally, you will find your OnStar buttons just located right up here on the ceiling. And other than that, that's essentially everything here in the driver's seat. Once again, plenty of space here for both passengers. You've got a nice, generously sized glove compartment, of course, and just overall really nice and solid materials. I love this wood. Probably one of my favorite interiors in the Yukon lineup. So that concludes our in-depth review video on the 2021 GMC Yukon XL Denali. Now, if you have any questions or comments, drop them below. I'll be answering all the comments. And of course, if you've enjoyed this review video, drop a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. Thanks for watching.